¿Qué lo que mi gente? Thank you, Emmy, for, sorry. Muchas gracias, Emmy, por el comento. Okay, so today's story takes us back to about April of 2020 when we started the 2 weeks to slow the spread. I got some dumbbells from someone on the Facebook marketplace, and before we met, I asked him if he would take sale because I was too lazy to go drive to the bank to get cash and I didn't have cash on me. So I asked if he would take sale. He said yes. So I drive to his apartment to pick up the dumbbells and I asked for his number so that I could send him money through Zelle. He tells me I save it under a contact. I show him my screen and he confirms. So I send him the money, we thank each other, and I go home. And I really remember this day because I almost died on my way back. I was on the highway, about 65 or 70, when suddenly my truck just took a sharp turn to the right by itself. And I drive with one hand on the wheel like that, and it was scary. I somehow didn't hit the sidewall, but I knew something was wrong, and so I let off the gas. And a few seconds later, the truck gets jerked to the right again. So at this point, I turn on my hazards and I'm going about 30 miles per hour on the highway. And there's only 2 lanes because there's construction. And because there's construction, the exits are blocked off for miles. And for like 10 minutes, I drove about 30 miles per hour on the highway. There was a screeching noise coming from under my truck. And every few seconds, it was trying to pull me hard to the right. But after about 10 minutes, I finally saw an exit. I was able to pull out. The only time I pulled. Anyway, I pulled into a parking lot to check under the truck because it sounded like metal was being dragged, but there was nothing there. I was a few miles from my apartment and I didn't really know anybody that could help, so I had to keep going. When I finally made it to my apartment, I saw that there was like smoke coming out from under the tire. It was kind of scary, but in the end, it was all good. Except I had to fix it myself, and it was about April, so it was still really cold. Actually, I remember there was snow still because I had to fix it in the snow. Now this was only a couple of months after I had moved from Texas to Michigan to start my career. I had no tools, and so I went inside and started checking out prices for the parts and the tools I would need, and it was going to be a couple of $100. So I wasn't very happy, but while I was looking at the tools and the parts, the guy I bought the dumbbells from sent me a text saying he didn't receive the payment. Supposedly he had called Zelle and they told him that they weren't sending some payments at the moment because of the C word. So I thought it was interesting that Zelle just wasn't sending some payments. So I checked my Zelle and I see it had gone through and the money had left my account. I told him, hey, it shows it went through on my end, but I'll look online to see if this has actually happened to anyone else because technology doesn't always work the way it should. I found nothing online and we were chatting back and forth just to make sure that I had the right information, and I did. After some time, I really felt like he was trying to scam me because he wasn't able to provide any proof when I had asked. He didn't send any screenshots or any other proof. But he did start threatening me and telling me he hopes he runs into me, but not before he asked me to send him something because his mom was getting upset. So I just blocked him and went on with my life. Now, I didn't send him any more money, but I did learn 2 lessons that day. Lesson 1, only use Zelle or similar apps with people you know. Lesson 2 applies to anyone you use Zelle with if you decide to ignore lesson 1, and that is, if you're using Zelle or a similar app, have the person you want to send money to send you a request, because if they send the request to the wrong person, that wrong person will just deny the request. They won't send the money. But if you send the money to the wrong person, then they may not be so eager to send it back. I hope you enjoyed the story and that you found the lessons helpful. If you want more lessons, make sure you watch this video. Que lo que mi gente, bienvenido a mi canal de YouTube. I really don't feel like recording today.